Rome 2 Total War. YouTubers, my name is Mr. Vegas, I've literally just told you, and today we're talking about a game that I personally cannot wait to play. It's going to be absolutely epic. Now, for those of you that haven't played a Total War game, where have you been the last 10 years? But, just briefly, it's a strategy turn-based game where, you know, you build your armies, you keep your people happy, you blah-de-blah, and then you march your little armies around and you go, oh, look at this, oh! And then you conquer them, and then you have little talks and you debate with each other about trade and tax and more trade and little horsey people, you know, do that weird thing. But, and then you have, it's one of the first games I've ever played personally, when you zoom into a battle and it just goes, bloof. Rome was a game that was most probably the best Total War game, even over all the newer ones, like Medieval 2, Empire Total War, and even Shogun 2, because it was what made Rome more interesting was the mix of culture that Rome had. It sort of had, obviously Rome and its culture and armies and politics and backstabbing, all the stuff that went with that. And then up north you had the barbarian Gauls and the British and Germans and, you know, all those sort of rough, ready tree huggers, and then to the south in the Mediterranean you had the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Macedonians with their phalanx and all that sort of thing. But yeah, so Rome 2 is going to be an awesome game that will push the boundaries and make it even awesome. I mean, in the campaign map, it's going to be even better. Apparently, you can zoom in and out, and you can spin around and make things go up and down, and just like in previous Total War games, you have to keep each town, each province happy by building temples and roads and markets and things like that. But what I really like about Rome 2 is the fact that you see your buildings get bigger. You see your towns change into a more interesting item. You know, when you build a temple, you see the temple grow and bind and become something on the campaign map. As you extend your towns, you see little chalets and little rough areas build up, so then you have to sort of pour money into those areas to sort of bring them up to the higher classes. And it's just amazing. And on the trade, you see all the little trade boats go around, you know, to and fro from docks. And the diplomacy has increased a lot in Rome 2. What's made it more interesting before, there's a lot of people that complain that the AI was a bit random. They'd just be like, I'm bored, I'm attacking you for no reason. Which became a little bit, a bit like, what are you attacking me for? I'm attacking the Spanish and the Gauls attack me for the hell of it. This is not cool. But now apparently there's this new panel that gives you a little crazy list of what you've done with that faction and what you haven't done. So then you can see what they might do or not do. So then when they attack you, there's a very good reason for it. They don't just go, bored, attack. Another thing I like is, before you had a Senate on the first Rome game, but it was a bit like, I'm the consul of Rome and I do nothing. But now it's different. There's 3 families, and the main one is obviously the Julii, as always. And they're all buying for power. And depending on who you conquer, or who you peace with, or who you're trading with, they all decide how much they like that. And to sort of keep them quiet, you can marry off one of your daughters and go, there you go, have her. And, you know, it makes it better. And I think it makes it more interesting. It's not just about who you can wipe out, it's about keeping the inner circle happy as well. So before, the Roman Senate were like, attack that town for the glory of Rome. And you're like, nah, can't be that bothered. But if you don't do it now, it has much more implications and effect on your game. And that's what I like about it. And the battles, however, let's just go into the battles. The battles are... get clicking. I might even put a few links actually underneath this video to take you straight to gameplay videos, which are awesome. They're going to be scary. Now I know you're thinking, will my computer hack it? Will my computer be able to take the power of Rome 2? Now, the campaign map isn't really going to be that complex in the sense of how much power it would take. Obviously it's more than the first one, but not loads. But what really will take your graphics is the battles. Now, what they're saying is, if you've been able to play Shogun 2, fine, or Empires, then Rome 2 will work fine on your computer, which is very important. Now, I'm cross fingers, Empire Total War works fine on my computer, and that's running at a 512 megabyte graphic card. I've got 4 gigabytes of RAM, I've got a dual core processor. Now, you know, that's 3 or 4 years old now, and, let's just pause that. Oh, yeah. Whoa! Oh, I missed it. Let's get that. So as I was saying, the computer specs. As I was saying, as I was saying, the computer specs will work fine. As long as it works Empires and Shogun 2, you have no problems. But personally, I might still buy a new computer, because the last thing I want is to play Rome 2, and the men are doing all this shaky baby stuff, and it's just not cool. There's nothing cool about a game that has frame rate like a granny. It's just not cool. It's just in the battle's gonna be amazing. They reckon there's more pixels on a single individual unit. When I mean unit, I don't even mean a whole unit, I just mean one individual man, than there was on the entire battle map on the first Rome. That's incredible for you. That's amazing for you. Now, the game mechanics, only the graphics being pushed to the next level with a brand new games engine that they've implemented literally for Rome 2. But the game mechanics is awesome. The way that soldiers get a shield like, Centurion, attack to the head, and And it just moves so fluently. And what I love about it is you've got everything that you want from the original series, but in modern terms you've got elephants that are like, you've got chariots tripping people up, you've got cavalry charges going in. There's even new stuff now where if you're on a hill, you can build these big boulder things, set them alight, and send them rolling down the hill, and they smash through the enemy lines. And then you got all the stuff they had on the old Rome that made the old Rome good, like if you shot too many arrows, an elephant, it got scared, it went, and started attacking your own lines, so be careful of that. Now for me personally, I'm going to try and use the same sort of tactics I used in the first Rome with the Roman legion, you know, in different squares, and keep them regimented, and then have archers behind, and then attack the enemy on the flank with cavalry, and that will win most of your battles. Now, if you want to see what this is like for real, I'm going to put a few links of gameplay to show how awesome it is. Anyway, as you both say for these clips that have been shown throughout this video, Rome 2 is going to be amazing, and that's just a brief description. All I'm going to say is, when September comes, don't mess about, just don't even wait till September. Pre-order Rome 2, get playing, and you'll know straight away how awesome it is, how much more developed the campaign map is, how much more detailed the battle maps are, and it's basically Rome times 10. So now for the glory of Rome. For me, Mr. Egg. I came, I saw, and I bloody conquered.